and welcome back. I am sorry that we have been MIA for like a month and a half. It has been a crazy month and a half and I have a lot to tell you guys about. If you follow us on Instagram, you know what I'm about to share. If you don't, make sure you check us out there. I post every day. You can find us at The Dodge Family and we would love to connect with you. But I have so much to tell you guys about. I'm gonna just dive right into this so this isn't like a 25-minute video. All right, so I'm currently 27 weeks pregnant and I think the last update I gave you guys was right around 20 weeks. Somewhere in that range. So it's been a while. We had our ultrasound to find out the gender of the baby, to do our anatomy scan and all of that. If you haven't seen our gender reveal video, go back and check that out before you watch this one because I'm about to tell you what we're having. So at our 20-week ultrasound, we found out that we are having a little baby boy and he is healthy and strong and perfect in every way, growing exactly the way that he should. At that ultrasound, they adjusted my due date. So when I had a 6-week ultrasound, the baby was measuring a little bit smaller. And so they moved my due date from the last day of my menstrual cycle, like a week, or I want to say, or 5 days. So it was like September, I don't even remember now. September something that they had. And I felt that I was closer to my last menstrual cycle like accuracy than that, but it didn't really matter to me because babies come when they're gonna come. When we did our 20-week ultrasound, he was measuring around 21 weeks, almost 22 weeks in some areas, and so we adjusted back to my due date of August 30th. So that is my official due date now, August 30th, and we are 27 weeks and 1 day today. At the 20-week ultrasound, again, baby boy was looking healthy and strong and perfect in every way. What we did find out is that I do have placenta previa. So for those of you who don't know what that is, placenta previa is when the placenta is covering your cervix in some format. It can be partial, it can be a full coverage, there's lots of different variations of it. So for me, my placenta was covering my cervix by about 2 centimeters more than it should have been. And so when we had our 20-week ultrasound, the initial doctor who was watching the ultrasound told me about it, and then I had a appointment immediately following that. So I met with my OB doctor and we talked about it even more. Basically, what we decided at that appointment was that I could not do any heavy lifting, so anything over 20 pounds, needed to just really be cautious of my physical activity and be mindful of if there was any, you know, bleeding or spotting or anything, and to go to the hospital. So biggest change there is that the girls have had a hard time with me not being able to love on them the way that they're used to, specifically Isabel, because she's over 20 pounds, so I can't pick her up, I can't carry her, and so she's had a tough time with that. But everything was going really good up until almost 3 weeks ago now. The girls were both sick. They had gotten like a viral cold bug thing as the season has changed, because we were like having warm days and cold days and warm days and cold days, and that just happens from that spring to summery transition. And the girls were both sick and under the weather, and of course shared their germs with mom, and so I ended up getting sick and having a really bad cold cough. I was coughing so bad to the point that it was like Monday, almost 3 weeks ago now. That Monday night, I was coughing so hard that I ended up vomiting like 4 times because I could not contain the cough. And that was like 9 o'clock at night, I want to say. And I had thrown up and was coughing and thrown up and was coughing for about 10-15 minutes maybe. And then I laid down and I had gone to sleep and was still kind of battling that cough throughout the night. I woke up around 2-ish and went to the bathroom and everything was normal. And then before my alarm went off, it was like 5:20-ish in the morning. I was laying in bed and I coughed and I felt like a coldness that wasn't normal down there. You know, when you cough sometimes when you're pregnant, you pee a little. I'm just gonna say it. So I got up and I went to the bathroom, and I saw that I had a clot that was about this size and then some bleeding. And so we immediately called my mother-in-law to come over and watch the girls so we could go to the hospital. My mother-in-law lives about 20-25 minutes away from us. And so my sister, who lives about 10-12 minutes away from me, my niece came and watched Emma until my mother-in-law got here, because Isabel was still sleeping. Emma had got up from school, and so we ended up going to the hospital. And I got to the ER. They brought me to labor and delivery, and then at labor and delivery they had me in triage. They hooked the baby up to the monitors, and we monitored his heartbeat for 2.5 hours, and then they checked me to see kind of what was happening. I wasn't having significant bleeding or spotting. It was just kind of a light spottiness that was happening that, as ironically as it sounds, is very normal with placenta previa. So it was super scary, honestly. I was very, very scared about what was happening. I've never had this situation happen before. And so for us, it was this new thing that had never happened. And I just had all the fears in my mind running through. But once we left the hospital, they told me kind of what to expect. And even though it was normal, it was such just a mind stress on me to like constantly be like, okay, is he moving? Is everything okay? Am I having new clotting? Am I having new spotting? And watch that. And so it really honestly wore on me. It was really tough for me to sleep. I've just had a lot of anxiety and stress and had really been battling with that ever since it happened. So then the next Tuesday, I went and saw my OB doctor for a follow-up appointment. At that time, I didn't have any fresh bleeding. It was kind of the old, you know, stuff you guys know if you're a mom. And my doctor told me that was normal and that would continue probably for a couple more days, and then eventually it should go away. So ever since then, I haven't had any more episodes or issues with it, and I'm very, very thankful. I've been praying about, you know, just having a really uneventful rest of this pregnancy. We have an ultrasound on Monday, this Monday, June 3rd. To check the placement of the placenta. A lot of people have shared their placenta previa stories with me and said that as the baby has gotten bigger, that the placenta moves up and away from the cervix, and that is what we want to have happen. I'm really hopeful and praying and believing that that will happen, because I want to be able to deliver him normally, naturally, you know, vaginally. Again, not that there's anything wrong with a C-section, but I don't want to have the extra recovery that comes with that. But right now, tentatively, worst case scenario, if nothing changes with the placenta as we continue to monitor it through the end of my pregnancy, we are scheduled to have a C-section on August 10th. And he would be 37 weeks and 1 day, and we would have a C-section that morning, and he would be born. The reason for that being, again, if you guys don't know, with placenta previa, if you start contracting, you can start bleeding, and then there's a risk for me and the baby significantly. So that's why they take the baby when they're full term. So I will keep you guys posted on that. I really, really appreciate everybody who has shared their placenta previa stories with me, and even explain how much that made me feel at rest, that knowing it was normal, because it feels so abnormal. And for all of you guys who have been sending prayers for us and well wishes and thinking about us, I really appreciate it. I have just been, ever since then, it's been such a journey. I feel like I've been so tired with this pregnancy. I was traveling for work, you guys know that, right after we found out the gender. And then ever since then, we've just been so busy, and I feel like I am pouring from an empty glass most days, honestly. I was just talking about this on Instagram the other day. I feel like the demands of working full-time, having 2 little girls, having a husband and a house, and all these other things have just, it's worn me out, and I just have so little energy by the end of the day to do anything else. And that's why I haven't really been updating, because I haven't had time to sit down and film and edit and do all of that stuff at the end of the day. And our weekends have been so busy, and just all the stress and the anxiety that has happened since we were in the hospital. I've been trying to take it easy and rest my body when I get the days that I can do that, which are Saturdays and Sunday. But I'm feeling much better. This last week has been a really big relief, just feeling back to normal, So we're just excited for this little guy. I am not wishing this pregnancy to go by, but in the same token, I want to make sure like everything happens the way that it should so that he can come and be healthy and good. I want to do more updates for you guys on a more weekly or bi-weekly basis. So that is the goal. I can't promise it'll happen, but I hope that now that some things have settled down, Emma's done with dance, school's going to be out for the year, we'll have a little bit more time on our calendar, hopefully. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, other than that, I mean, we are just so excited for this little guy. It's not that we wouldn't have been happy had it been a girl. He is just the icing on the cake. This is our last baby either way, like I've been saying the whole time. And to have a little guy, the girls are so excited. They love him so much already. I mean, Isabel, again, doesn't quite fully understand everything that's happening, but she talks about baby Eli all the time. And, you know, Emma's excited to have a baby brother, and it's fun to now have this new chapter of having a little boy, even though this is our last little guy. So thank you guys for your well wishes and your excitement over, you know, this sweet baby boy. We just love him and we're so excited about him. If there's anything else you guys want me to share in my next update, please leave it in the comment section below and I will make sure to address it. I'm going to show you guys my 27-week belly and then that'll be the end. All right, so this is my 27-week belly. I feel like I don't know, you guys have to tell me. I don't feel like I'm huge, but I feel like you just get so much bigger, so much faster with your, you know, future pregnancies. So 27 weeks, he gives me lots of acid reflux and I'm out of breath all the time. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to give us a like or a subscribe if you're new. We'd love to have you be part of our internet family and we will see you in our next video. Bye.